Still to come, you're going to hear all about the condition keratoconus and how it impacts the eyes. And certainly if this is something that affects you, or maybe you're not sure, you want to learn more about it, today you will find out a little more and for the next couple of weeks. And certainly we'll tell you about the launch that is coming up for an organization that is going to champion the cause. So we want you to stick around for that. Just reminding you though, next month is the month they call love, and we've been encouraging you to embrace those moments. We want you to embrace the love. Start with yourself. Start with yourself. Self-love is very important. That certainly can help you to move in the right direction. So this morning we're going to get right into that chat as promised, where we tell you all about keratoconus, an eye condition, and the launching of Keratoconus Barbados. So let me start by introducing you to the doctor. To my left, we have Dr. Nigel Barker, ophthalmologist. Yes, great to see you again. And that pun wasn't intended, that's just how it worked out. But we also have Mandy Cummins joining us.
Good morning.
Great to see you. I don't know if I should mention that she's a singer. She's a multi-talented young lady, but today we're going to hear about her involvement with Keratoconus Barbados. And also we have with us Roseanne Myers. She's the founder of Keratoconus Barbados. You will get a chance to certainly hear about it and how you can maybe get involved and help to share the information. So let me start over here with Dr. Barker. Dr. Barker, I want you to first of all give us the medical or clinical explanation of keratoconus.
We all have a cornea. The cornea is part of the outer covering of the eye. It's supposed to be transparent, so we don't see it. You know, when you tell a person with a cornea, to think it's the colored part of the eye, but that's actually the iris, and it covers it. It's where you will put a contact lens if you're wearing it. There's this disease called keratoconus. It's Greek. Kerato is cornea. Conus, it becomes like a cone if left long enough. So the cornea, for some unknown reason, stretches and becomes distorted. So rather than having clear vision, you have what you call irregular astigmatism, and you know, you get ghosting and all kind of, actually those with keratoconus will be able to explain more than I can. And the problem with it comes on very early in adolescence, and it progresses most in that age group, tends to stabilize in the 20s and as you go on. So it's once upon a time there was not much you can do, but if, you know, persons would start with glasses and then move on to contact lenses, and then if necessary a corneal transplant. But you know, these are exciting times, and there are all kinds of contact lenses and different things called cross-linkings and whatnot to halt it. So that's it in a nutshell.
Okay, I saw that surgery was still one of the ways to kind of fix the situation. Are you moving away from that as well?
Well, hopefully from this message it will be early detection. I still think in general persons haven't necessarily understood or even know what is available in the region to halt the progress with cross-linking. So maybe in 20 years from now, when the awareness for cross-linking is very high and persons get cross-linking very early, you see, that requires a mindset where, as I said before, you would wait until surgery needed to be done. But you still have persons who are very advanced and who still need at this stage, who have been, well, might have been around before cross-linking, or may even have been missed, who still need surgery, but hopefully in 20 years' time.
Okay. Well, you will also get a chance to hear two KC stories, as it's called for short, Keratoconus. Mandy is going to share hers, and Ms. Myers is going to share hers as well. But she's also the founder of Keratoconus Barbados. So I'd like to give you the opportunity to give us the overview, why you thought it was absolutely necessary to have an organization that can assist.
Thank you very much, Cassandra.
My pleasure.
About 3 years ago, I decided, I've been fighting with keratoconus from the time I was 21. 38 years ago, I've had keratoconus for 38 years. And it was thought to be a rare condition. And I dealt with it, I wore whatever was prescribed and so on. But 3 years ago, hearing that more and more people seem to have keratoconus, and hearing, as you visit the optician and so on, that there seemed to be a higher than normal incidence or prevalence of it in Barbados, I started to wonder, has research been done and so on, and felt that why not start with me? Why wouldn't I be the one to figure out or help to figure it out and to form a community? So we started with the Facebook page, Keratoconus in Barbados, in the Caribbean, and then we've just launched Keratoconus Barbados as a Facebook page. But the idea on February 3rd is to bring together the community of KCers, the community in Barbados of people with keratoconus.
Yeah.
It is very disturbing, from what I've heard, that more and younger children are developing keratoconus. And I know what a struggle it was for me, and Mandy will say, you know, as a person having to put in a hard contact lens and keep it in all day, what about a child 9, 7? We know from our stories, we shared some stories just a weekend ago, that a lot of us had keratoconus, but it was either misdiagnosed, missed. You wear glasses, glasses don't work. Glasses do not work. And it doesn't correct your vision perfectly, but that's all that you were given, and nobody ever says, go get tested for keratoconus. So the idea of the group really is to pull the community of persons with the condition together and let us see how we can help ourselves, how we can spread information and help others. Information, research, awareness, that is really where we're at. And do we in Barbados have the resources outside of Dr. Barker, who is excellent and really the top of the field? And it's interesting because I Googled you last night, Nigel, when it comes to, and I've known Nigel from school. He was my junior at school, I have to say that. And the top of his field, we have one of the best in Barbados. I am on pages talking to people in North America, Australia, whatever, and they're struggling to find out about cross-linking. We've had it here in Barbados. So we need to really pull together the resources that we have to help those children who can't even afford the lenses. And that is reason, that's why I'm doing it.
Excellent, excellent. So, Ms. Cummins, maybe you now can tell us, when did you become aware that you were impacted by keratoconus?
I have been having symptoms since I was about 17. So the first thing I ever noticed was ghosting, which Dr. Barker mentioned.
Maybe you can explain that for persons who may not get it.
Well, I'm not going to be medically technical probably, but it's a form of multiple vision, basically. So, and if I'm looking at almost anything, especially things that have a high contrast, so black on white, etc., I will see several sort of transparent copies around it. Like, I don't think I've seen one single moon in the sky for years.
Wow.
And I have learned to look past it. I've learned to ignore it and keep going, especially because I have a hard time with contact lenses for other reasons which I get into, cost being one of them. So if I'm having a hard time affording contacts, imagine people who are at a disadvantage, less privileged than I am or something. But I started noticing ghosting when I was about 17, when I first started wearing soft contact lenses to correct my short-sightedness. And was told it's just a thing with contacts, you know, maybe it's just your eyes. And for a good 8-9 years, I was told, yeah, it's nothing to worry about. But I continually had more and more difficulty getting my eyes, getting my vision corrected with lenses. Couldn't find lenses that were working. I wasn't able to see clearly. We moved on to toric lenses, which is a bit bigger but still soft. But soft contact lenses do nothing for keratoconus because the problem with the vision comes from the abnormal shape of the cornea. And soft lenses just sit on top of the cornea and take their shape. So finally, when I was, it was, I think around early 2009, I was pregnant and I was recommended to have a corneal topography by my optician. I saw a different optician and he said, you know, maybe you should try this.
A corneal topography?
Yes, which is the imaging. It's a digital imaging of the eye so you can see if it's properly conical or spherical, which is, or not spherical. Dr. Barker can tell me the proper word, but the right shape, basically.
Yeah.
And so eventually, just after I had my daughter, I had that done, and the doctor literally took, the optician literally took one look and said, oh yeah, this is all I need you to see. So you have keratoconus. So I was diagnosed at around just around my 28th birthday, and then, which is 9 years ago, and I don't know if they call it remission. That's what we've called it. Around about 35, the age 35, we realized that I kind of stopped progressing.
Okay.
So mine has stopped, which is good. I have a moderate case, but it hasn't gotten any worse in 4 years. And like Dr. Barker said, it does generally progress to a certain point and then stop.
I could imagine the confusion that this must cause for younger
Oh, yes.
persons.
It's actually very isolating. And because when I was diagnosed, this is almost 10 years ago now, I didn't know anybody else who had it. I didn't know what it was. I'd never heard of it. I was terrified because, you read the literature, and some of the worst case scenarios are people going blind and having to have cornea
and that is
transplants and
precisely
Yeah,
the
and I-
reason why
yeah.
we need to get together, because listening and talking to each other, everybody's saying the same thing. I don't know anybody that has this thing. I never mentioned it to
Agreed.
anybody, because Keratoconus, people don't even understand how to spell
Listen
it.
Yes,
to me.
keratoconus.
I had to make sure I didn't transpose some of the syllables.
Exactly. And you're describing things,
Yeah.
and you're saying you have to wear contact lenses, and people are mumbling, you only want to wear contact lenses because
Yes.
you don't want to wear glasses.
Yeah. Oh, it's a
There's
vanity thing.
nothing vain about it. You cannot see in glass. So we are all sharing this information and saying, at 9 years old or at 14 or 17, we need to share what we have found, and so that people
Yep.
understand that it is not uncommon.
Agreed.
I read a very interesting case about a child who was thought to be schizophrenic
Wow.
because they kept seeing these
The
ghosted
numbers are
images
ghosting.
and very much, and I really,
Excuse me.
these balls of light falling from
God.
the ceiling, which is what I see when I look up at a light bulb. You don't see the light bulb, you see all of the rays.
Yeah, and a lot of what happens sometimes is that those little ghost images will move around depending
Yes.
on how tired I am. When I blink and that kind of thing, the little ghost images will actually sort of shift a little bit, and
Wow.
You see them in
it's
the
freaky.
corner of the room,
Wow.
you
It's
see
yeah.
people moving their arm.
I'm reminded, one of the best images I have in my head is there's a painting by Vincent van Gogh of a pool hall, and the lights have like a weird sort of like halo type of thing around them. And I remember seeing that after I was diagnosed and thinking, oh, maybe he had it too, and we just didn't know. But yeah, it's
So on
it's
February
scary.
3rd,
Yeah.
we want to share our stories. There's several people, and there's several people who it really has affected their ability to work at certain jobs.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to. Cross-linking is now available.
Yeah.
Early detection. Unfortunately, the hospital does not have the topography or topometry machine.
Yeah.
We need to make sure that we
Yeah.
can get one for them, however we do
Absolutely.
it, get it donated. But I think having a community to share with
And work
then
together.
look to work together, but research.
Yeah.
How many people in Barbados actually do have this issue, and why so many?
Yeah, we're going to have another conversation next week. But Dr. Barker, I want you to remind maybe parents or individuals, if they're feeling or seeing any of these things, don't panic. I want to give you the opportunity to remind them a little about that.
Yeah, don't panic. I think what we have to advise is that you do not only get your eyes checked when you have a serious problem, that from school age, you should, I don't think if you're 4 and all as well, that you have to be every year, but at least every 2 to 4 years, do have some assessment. And if you talk specifically about keratoconus, the awareness would be if you have a regular change in glasses prescription, if you have increase in astigmatism, which we won't go into now, these things should flag you that there could be something wrong. As I was saying to Rosanna's comments, is that I've even missed it because in the days before topography, which is a map, I might know
Right.
about topography and surveying
Yes.
and geography,
Yeah, with the land.
and with colors, you would think, well, maybe, but no, I recommend early topography, which is why I also approach Ms. Myers about what can we do, because I see plenty of patients at the hospital and they
So it's pretty
facility is
common
not
in Barbados.
it's not there. So we want to work also to spreading the message, helping those who can't afford private care and things like that. So the message: don't panic. Get your eyes checked, and hopefully
Yeah,
with
and
this
reach out.
momentum,
Yes,
we will be able to
absolutely.
Yeah.
achieve certain goals to help everyone.
All right, thank you all so very much. Roseanne Myers, she is the founder of Keratoconus Barbados. There's a Facebook page now, so you can search for it and learn more and try to reach out if you think that you could be affected by it. And Dr. Nigel Barker, of course, joined us to give his medical expertise. And Mandy Cummins, along with Roseanne, both persons affected by keratoconus, sharing their stories as well. Next Thursday, you'll hear a little more about it and the rollout for February 3rd.